As Owen Cook puts it, success is like a quiet daily set of tasks. Real small. It's like that quiet walk to the library, that empty 24/7 library late at night, over and over and over. Or as I sit there studying other great people and I compare their actions with my own actions, over and over and over. Or as I sit doing 30 minutes of meditation a day, over and over and over. Making the choice to eat foods that enhance my brain neurotransmitters, over and over and over. It's a very quiet process where you're doing these simple little tasks, but finding love in those simple little tasks. It's not the big thing where you do this one thing and something big happens. Being able to make a success out of your life, it's not purely down to luck. You have more control over it than you think. You can decide to be successful. You can decide to have the fast cars and the big house. And it starts right here, with your studying. Not because getting good grades is going to bring you success in the future. It's about the work ethic and the attitude you have towards your studying that will transfer to your work after you graduate. It's about believing that you can achieve something and doing whatever it takes to achieve it. It's about fine-tuning the skills you have to zero in on your goals. The skills that you are improving while you're studying. Work ethic, time management, reading, critical thinking, problem solving, decision making, focus, reasoning, persuasion, organization, overcoming obstacles, and self-motivation. These are all skills that all great students have improved and refined over years of efficient and effective studying. And it's these students that have made a decision that when the world is saying, "That's impossible, you're not capable, your dreams will stay as dreams," they have that lone voice that goes, "No, you know what? It is possible. Just watch me." They have gone through this process of growth, and they have pushed and pushed through all the obstacles that were thrown at them. It's important that you don't think of your studying as though it's all about passing your exams and getting a piece of paper at the end of it all so you can get a good job. Because it's so much more than that. And it's the great students that understand this. It's not about your exams. It's about the process and the journey you go on and the skills you refine over the years. It's about when you don't feel like studying, but you continue to push through and study anyway. It's doing the things that you need to do, that you know you need to do when you don't feel like doing it. Because the reality is that most people can study when they're feeling good. Most people can study when they have no distractions, when they're in a quiet environment, when there's pressure put on them as a deadline is approaching. But just being able to study on the highs isn't good enough. You have to be able to study all the time. So learning how to refocus your mind on the lows and knowing the lows are going to end is a huge skill. The process is just as important as the actual prize, because the process is going to make you. The deeper the process, the greater the reward. Just remember, the prize is going to be huge. It's so easy for people to fall into the trap of studying, but getting mediocre grades. And they know what they want. They know they want to improve, but they don't actually do anything to change anything. So they get average grades for the rest of the year. They make up excuses why they can't get better grades. But in reality, they are exactly that, just excuses. The hardest thing to do is to take the first step on the path to improvement. But once you take that first step, it's easier to then take another, then another, then another. Because greatness isn't achieved by taking just one step, but it's about taking lots of small steps, the small decisions you make throughout the day that all add up to achieve that goal. It's easy for us to look at people that are doing well, that are getting good grades, that are volunteering, that are getting work experience, that seem to be completely unfazed at university, and think, that person just got lucky. They're cleverer than me. They're more academic than me. They have more support than me. But the reality is that they took that first step to self-growth, and then they took another step, and another. And what you're seeing is the result of them making dozens of right decisions every day. They get up, they don't make excuses, and they go out, get their head down, and study. So why not you? Because that can be you. But you need to start getting things moving. You need to take that first step. Whatever it is, whether it's waking up an hour earlier or studying for an extra hour that night, it doesn't really matter what it is, because it's just one step. And from there, it'll encourage you to take another step, and then another. And everyone that you look up to, you can be that person. You can become the person that people look up to, because we all have greatness deep within us. But only a few have taken the steps to become great. Everything you want, you can have. It's not out of reach. The only thing stopping you is you and your actions. What you do today will determine whether you ever reach it.
Some of you, the reason why you're not where you want to be is because you're a slave to your feelings. You give in to your feelings. You don't feel like waking up, so you don't wake up. You don't feel like studying, so you don't study. You don't feel like going to the gym, so you don't go to the gym. And that's the problem, because it's very rare that you actually feel like doing the things you need to do. And how do you fix this? There's just one way. You have to ignore how you're feeling and do it anyway. You need to get your studying done. It doesn't matter how tired you are. So what? Everyone around you is also tired. Just don't think about it. You just know that it's something that has to be done. You're at university to study. It's just what you have to do. Don't give in to the immediate gratification that is whispering in your ear, because it's an easy hill to slide down. Once you make one bad decision, then you make another, and then another, and before you know it, you're failing exam after exam after exam. You need to take action before you get to that point. As Jim Rohn puts it, taking responsibility for whatever happens to you, it's one of the highest forms of human maturity, accepting full responsibility. It's the day you know you've passed from childhood to adulthood, knowing that you have consciously made the decisions that are now affecting you, knowing that what is happening now, today, is the direct result of your actions yesterday.
Every one of you, in 5 years, is going to arrive somewhere. And here's the thing. So many people are just relying on haphazardly stumbling around in life, relying on chance, and just hope it all works out. You don't have to throw your life to chance. You have a choice. You can choose which direction your life goes. And the first step to making that choice is to not negotiate with procrastination.
Taking responsibility means counting on yourself, trusting yourself, being confident with yourself, doing the right thing, trusting your own instinct, learning from the mistakes that you have made, but also taking the credit from your wins. I used to have a long list of reasons why my grades weren't that good. I felt I had to explain myself, otherwise I would look bad. I had this weird list called reasons for not looking good. I used to blame my professor. He wasn't teaching me anything. I used to blame my parents. They didn't give me enough support. I used to blame my friends. After school, they kept asking me to go out with them. I used to blame not having enough time. And most students have this list. It can even be pages and pages long. But you need to screw up that paper. Throw it in the bin. Get a blank sheet of paper and write one word. Me. Because it's not what happens that determines the quality of your life. And the reason is because what happens to you happens to all of us. All of your classmates had the same professor as you. All your classmates had the same amount of time as you. The same thing can happen to two different people, but one student gets good grades, the other student gets poor grades. Why is that? It's because it's not what happens. It's what you do that changes everything.
Don't avoid the struggle. Don't avoid the obstacles. They're always going to be there. They're not going to go away. The question is, are they controlling you, or are you controlling them? The question is, are you at the wheel, or are they at the wheel? Are you playing the victim, or are you playing victor into those things? That's the question. Believe in yourself.
If you continue doing the same tomorrow that you did today, I know exactly what grades you'll get this year. Just look at last year, because if there's no improvement there in your studying, then you'll just continue getting the same grade. So, if I had a chat with you tonight, one-on-one, just you and me, my personal advice to you would be, reach down inside of you and come up with more of those remarkable human gifts that you have within you. They're there, waiting to be utilized, and then change anything in your life that you want to change. And I challenge you to do that, because I know you have the ability to change. If you don't like how it is for you, change it. If you don't like your grades, study more. If you don't like your body, go to the gym. If you don't like your friends, get new friends. You don't have to be the same after this video. And if you are, it's completely your choice. Take full responsibility. Don't complain. Be prepared. Be kind. And go out there and study.
Imagine what life would be like if you could be your very best in every area of your life. Your studying, your relationships, your physical and mental health, your finances, your hobbies. What would your life look like? It all boils down to one thing. One single measure of your personality that will determine how much you achieve. It's hunger. How hungry are you for success? What are you willing to give up to get the grades you need to achieve? What excuses are you willing to let go of? What sacrifices are you willing to make? Do you have the strength to deny your friends when they ask you to go out the night before an exam? With most people, that's the problem. They're not truly committed to their education. It's just something they're forced to do as they have no choice. Or they just kind of want it. They talk about it, they complain about it. They like the idea of it, but they're not truly committed. Because if they were truly committed, they would be showing up to every class, passing every exam, going to the library every morning. But that's the issue. Most people don't really want it that bad. So if you can tap into the hunger within you, because it's the hunger that's going to make you unstoppable. It's the hunger that is going to motivate you to study at night when you just want to relax and turn the TV on. It's the hunger that drives extraordinary grades. It's the hunger that will push you ahead of your classmates. Because if you want to be successful badly enough, life has a way of making it happen. If you want it bad enough, you'll find a way to get it.
A few years ago, Les Brown, one of the greatest motivational speakers on the planet, put it like this. One of the things I have realized, and many of us have, is that if you want something out of life, if you want to change yourself, if you want to achieve something, if there's some goal you want to reach, it's really not that easy. That living your dream, changing your behaviors, overcoming negative habits, it's challenging, it's hard. But being able to use your hunger to overcome these obstacles can be one of the most important skills you have. But how do you nurture this hunger and allow it to grow? Number one, you have to work on yourself. It's very important that you continuously work on self-development, on growing, on becoming a better person, maybe learning a new language or a new skill or a new hobby. Number two, learning from your mistakes. Didn't do well in an exam? Then find the reasons why and improve them. And don't blame other people. Blame yourself. What did you do that you could have done better? Number three, kill the negativity. Overcome the negative conversation, the inner dialogue in your head that's going on all the time, even when you don't want it to be there, it's still going on. Watching that inner dialogue and controlling it bit by bit every day, it will determine the quality of your life. And finally, number four, you have to believe in yourself. You have to convince yourself every day, because if you don't believe in yourself, it won't happen for you. You have to focus on you. And as you convince you, and as you sell yourself every day, you will begin to see a difference in the things that you're doing.
It's very simple. The attitude you have when facing struggles and obstacles is what determines whether you will be successful. And if you're going to commit the next 2, 3, 4 years of your life to your education, then your attitude is everything. Being able to keep studying despite the adversity thrown at you. You fail an exam, keep studying. You argue with your friends, keep studying. You have money problems, keep studying. You keep on marching on through the struggle, the chaos, the frustration, the procrastination, the disappointment, the anger, the regret. When all that is there, but you keep studying through it all, you know you have the discipline to be a successful person. It's the ability to know that even though at the time you feel overwhelmed and overpowered, you know deep down that it too shall pass. You will find a way. You will keep studying to chase your goal, to make you proud, to make your family proud, through thick and thin. You will continue studying. It is something that is ingrained into every successful person, the ability to push through difficult times, not because you were lucky with it, not because they inherited it, but because they developed it. They did it once, they did it again, they did it again, and each time after that gets easier and easier. The more you overcome your struggles today, the easier you'll overcome your struggles tomorrow. And once you build up that momentum of improving your productivity, it becomes a whole lot easier.
And it's funny how it works. The more you study, the more you understand the subjects and topics. And the more you prepare for your exams, the easier your exams will be. The easier university will be, the easier it will be to get a good internship or graduate job after graduating. It's really very simple. The more you study, the easier your life will be. Keep studying. Do not ever give up. Respect the struggle of your journey, because it's the struggle that will build you to be stronger. But be persistent. Keep working on it. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be hard. But that is an incredible thing, because you're going to figure it out. You will pull through. You have enough time. You have enough resources. You have enough commitment. You will find a way to smash your exams. Believe in yourself. You will figure things out. When tomorrow comes, you might not know what steps to take, but believe in yourself. Steer your own ship. It's your life. Take control.
I want to talk to you about the real reason why studying hard is so important. And it's probably not what you think. It's not about getting good grades. It's not about getting a good internship or a good graduate job. It's not about proving yourself to you or your family. It's not about earning a lot of money or having a prestigious career. You can forget all of that. It's not why you're doing it. Tony Robbins explains it best. The reason why pushing yourself every day is so important is because of growth. Growth equals happiness. And if we keep growing on a regular basis, then we feel alive. And that's why at the beginning of the year, we get this thing, okay, I can have a fresh start. I can really do what my soul desires. I can grow. I can improve. I can change. You see? Think about that. Growth makes you feel alive, doesn't it? So if you want to have real growth, then you've got to look at your life in a different way than you've been doing. You've got to say, I've got to take control of this process and not just hope it's going to work out like most people do. Your studying should be a constant pursuit that's going on all the time. And when you're pushing yourself, seeing your performance and grades increase, that's when you start to feel alive. That's when you start to feel your best. But that motion of studying makes people feel so uneasy that they feel like, well, I'm going to work hard and study hard and do well in my exams until I graduate, and then I'm going to get to a place of calm. I'm here to tell you, that place doesn't exist. It's not a real place. And the problem is, a lot of people are motivated because they think they're going to reach this destination when they're finally happy. That place is not real. If you have $1 million, you want $1 billion. If you have a fast car, you want a faster car. You will realize eventually that growth is what makes you happy. It's not the destination that will finally make you happy. It's the journey you're on to get to that destination. It's about improvement in the way you think. It's improvement in the way you push yourself to achieve bigger and better things. It's improvement in the way you make mistakes and understand what you can learn from them. But also, it's about understanding what you've done right and building upon them. And so, take a step back. Don't think of your studying as something you need to do just to pass your exams. It's far bigger than that. It represents so much more. It's about growth. It's about being happy. And it's hard to articulate exactly what I mean, but trust me, when you go through the motions as you start to grow, you'll know exactly what I mean.